there's the anti-woman thing on the right, and Rachel knows this because her husband is, had a huge boost in his career, basically going on these podcasts, making fun of women, and people love that, I think so. I think it. No, but obviously I love women. I'm not a woman hater. That's the other space. It's like there's the anti-woman thing on the right, and Rachel knows this because her husband is, had a huge boost in his career, basically going on these podcasts, making fun of women, and people love that. People love that content, which
Facts.
kind of blows my mind how much people like women to be made fun of.
Well, yeah, so that's the thing is he doesn't really make fun of them. He
Rachel has to come back. She has to come back. She's got no choice. She has to come back. She has to defend her husband.
Asks questions that expose the fact that they don't know why they believe what they believe, and they don't know why it is that they say the things that they say and do the things that they do. So
that is making fun of them, Rachel. That is called mocking them. Mockery is a sin, by the way, Rachel. What Andrew Wilson does as far as interacting with these OnlyFans girls who go on these Red Pill podcasts goes is no different from any other Red Pill content creator out there. The only difference is just that he's better at articulating himself than the majority. But it's the same formula. The idea is to mock these OnlyFans girls so that a nation of incel men who lust over them can feel vindicated that they are not to blame because in their entitled minds, it's all women's fault. You see, it's all about removing the accountability, especially moral accountability, away from the men and dumping it all on the women so that morally degenerate men can feel good about themselves. The irony, of course, is that the reason why these women even go to these podcasts is because they know that the same men mocking them are going to be the same men signing up to their OnlyFans at the end of the show. So to these girls, the ridicule and insult is a small price to pay for the amount of subscribers that they are going to get at the end of the show. Can't make this shit up. By the way, this idea that I have to mock people to get through to them is bullshit. You can call out bad behavior without having to mock people. I don't have to make a woman look stupid to tell her that sleeping around is a sin and it will lower her chances of significantly landing a man and having a family in the future. Look, I am not saying that I'm a better person than Andrew Wilson. God knows I am not, far from it. I have at times also fell for the temptation to mock OnlyFans girls and modern women in general. So I'm not better than anyone, but it is our duty as Christians to warn our brothers in Christ when we see them doing something wrong. And I hope people call me out as well when they see me doing something wrong.
But going back to what you were saying, Alex, there is what is it referred to? A cottage industry of hating women.
Yes.
And I was talking to my girlfriend about this. There exist channels that have no ethos, no ideology, and there's a bunch of them. We'll leave them unnamed because people can guess who they are. And it's like you ask these hosts, these guys, some of these women.
He's talking about Fresh and Fit, Just Barely Things, all of them, The Crucible, you name it.
What are your politics? And they'll just defer, like, well, I'm not, I don't know. I'm just saying, because their whole thing is, I got a bunch of angry guys who watch me, and it feels good when we blame women for why they feel bad.
do you think that's reactionary to several decades of overwhelming feminist propaganda saying that men are toxic, masculinity is bad, that you
No, Rachel, it isn't. But go on.
can't act in a manly sort of way, and now public school systems also treating little boys like pariahs and giving them ADHD meds, so they have to sit still and be quiet like the girls and just highlight things and organize stuff, right? Like, we've criminalized masculinity to a degree and put feminism front and center and made it the air we breathe. So I think there's just a lot of reaction. I think it's a reactionary movement like a lot of the other ones that we're dealing with right now.
The name of the channels that Tim said had no ethos or ideology and didn't want to name are Fresh and Fit, Just Barely Things, Whatever Podcast, Fugazi, Saint and the Sinner, Rational Male, The Crucible. In fact, every channel that brands themselves as Red Pill or argues in favor of the Red Pill. Unlike Tim, I have no issues naming these channels. Where I would say Tim went wrong, though, is that these channels do have an ideology. And this ideology is called the Red Pill ideology, not a praxeology. It's called the red pill ideology. Yes, guys, it's not a praxeology, it's an ideology, and it's founded by Rollo Tomassi. Go check out Rollo Tomassi's 10 rules for how to become a high value man. Some of these rules include no family creation, no marriage, get a vasectomy, etc. And Tim is right. These channels know that they have a nation of incel angry men that are willing to pay them a lot of money if they can make them feel good about their anger and hatred towards women. That, by the way, they lust over and sign up to their OnlyFans after each and every show. Why do you guys think Myron tells women on his show that misbehave and get kicked out of that it's a privilege for them to be on their platform and to remove their IG after kicking them out? Because Myron understands that their audience will sign up to these OnlyFans women that they love to ridicule. Rachel said, the reason why these men are so angry is because they are reacting to years of feminist propaganda saying that men are toxic and masculinity is bad, etc. Really, Rachel? Really? Rachel is starting to make me feel like a victim here. I'm starting to develop a bit of a victim mindset here. You know what? She's right. It is all feminism's fault. Why men fund the sex industry, pay for OnlyFans and simp for girls online, and then complain why we can't find the good women. I didn't know men were so weak and needed so much protection from society. Is Rachel being serious? By the way, if you don't know, this is how you develop a victim mindset. Yes, feminism is an evil ideology and men knew exactly what they were doing and are doing when they decided to entertain it. Guys, it's very simple. If you know feminism is bad, then don't watch porn. Don't pay for OnlyFans. Don't marry women that have a men and women are equal mindset. Men have lived and survived under tyrannical and degenerate empires and regimes since the beginning of time, and the nuclear family survived just fine. Are we seriously blaming women now? Have we become that weak?
To what Rachel was saying, when it comes to men and women, the digitization or the digitalization, I don't know what the word for it, the dating pool, I think that's what's making it so hard to make connections, because we said this last night on your show. With these dating...
week.
Oh, yes. We said it, excuse me, we said it last week on your show. The dating apps are so toxic and superficial where people are just swiping and the girls get hit up way more than the guys. So it kind of makes men mad at women. I don't know how else to describe it, because they're sending all these messages and women are playing them. These women are getting like so many
I call that being weak.
more messages. So I think like dating, in this dating world that we have, this modern dating world, is why men are starting to hate women so much. And I think that's why men like that content where women get lampooned.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of what you were just saying, but also, so all of these things combine, and then you'll get a guy who has got a frustration for one reason or another, and then a YouTube channel pops up where they're like, did you know women be dumb? And the guy's like, yeah, you know what I mean? And it's like,
Let's break this down. Is it right for a man to hate a woman just because the woman don't want to date him? My answer is, even if every woman on earth didn't want every man on earth, it would still be wrong for a man to hate a woman and vice versa. It is always wrong to hate someone just because you are not their first choice or preference. So these men have no moral justification to hate the majority of women on dating apps who, for whatever reason, good or bad, don't find them attractive. Why do most men and women go on these dating apps in the first place? Is it to find a wife or to hook up? It's not as if you can't stop someone on the streets, in the shopping center, or in your church and talk to them. The truth is that the majority of people are not going on dating apps to find a wife or a husband. They're going for a hookup or for a free dinner and attention. We know this because marriages are declining, single mother households are on the rise, and the average relationship lasts less than 3 years. Women are going on these dating apps for attention, validation, and materialistic opportunity. Why? Because women understand that the reason why most of these men go on these dating apps is because they lust over them and they just want to have sex with them. So women leverage sex for what they really want, which is attention, praise, and materialistic things. Also, why would men hate women if the majority of women don't want them on dating apps? Doesn't that mean you dodged a bullet? I mean, think about it. If you know you are a good guy and you have good intentions and you are really after a wife and you make that clear on your profile, wouldn't the fact that the majority of women not choosing you mean that they were not compatible with you in the first place? Isn't that a good thing? Why would you want to be with a woman that doesn't want to be with you in the first place? This is how I know the majority of men that are complaining that women don't find them attractive are only there for the same degenerate reason as women are. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the reaction. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time, all right? Peace.